what they say each descendant of a slave would have had it not been for the racist systems that were set up in the country, it comes out to somewhere around $1.4 trillion. Less than 200,000 for each descendant of a slave. They gave it to them right then and there. And that's a low estimate. But there's a reason why I'm taking the low estimate, because I want to talk to you, America, United Nations, in language you're familiar with. Many of you are attorneys, lawyers, so everything I'm about to say should be totally clear to you. There's something called damages, and when we take into account how the IRS, let's just use things you're familiar with. If you owed $10,000 100 years ago to the IRS, today, do you wake up and say, all right, let me go pay that 10? You better not even show up there with 10. You're not leaving. There's something called penalties and interest, and penalties and interest accrue over time. From an investing standpoint, opportunity cost. What could have been done with the 150, 200,000 over hundreds of years? What could that have led to? The losses incurred to not having that. So we just took the low estimate, we put penalties and interest on it, and just using the same IRS scale, you owe us about 1.3 a number. We're familiar with billions. Everybody's heard billions. Some people have heard trillions. We know we're in $1 trillion economies and GDP. The number you owe us is not. It starts with quad. It's quadrillion. What's past trillion? We're not going to sit here and call you to the table, going back to what we talked about in episode 1, which is when you continually talk about things that they can't do, you give them a reason to say the reason it's not getting done is because it's too unrealistic. We don't have it. We don't have that money to pay. So cool. So let's talk about the grace we're going to extend. Here's what we're going to do. Whenever the next formal national reparations meeting is held, we are going to create collectively a proposal that everybody has a hand in. Every leader, every organization, every reparations advocate, every activist has a hand in. When we come together with this national proposal that is going to be a laundry list of all the leaders around this country who have co-authored it, starting with the easiest things first and moving down to the harder ask, what do we agree on? Is there anything in this 63-point proposal that Congress will agree on that we can get bipartisan approval on? One thing, the school project, can we get bipartisan approval on forgiving student debt from descendants of ex-slaves? Can we get some free college education for descendants of ex-slaves? Can we get, some tax relief for people who are behind on their houses with descendants of ex-slaves? What can we agree? Can we do anything? Because a lot of these things we're going to ask for is what we know you have, United States, which is credit.